Services presents Kired, Know Your Architect/Designer.
My name is Sejal and I run a firm called Reflections. Reflections was started in, I started in 2006, and before that I was working with celebrity designers Abu Jani and Sandeep Khosla. So I worked with them for about 8 years, and then I had 2 kids, and then I started on my own after a sabbatical. And yeah, ever since that time, there's no looking back. It's just been a journey that goes on.
What it is like to have to start something of your own. You might have gone to an education, and then you have something which is of your own. That's a journey that every designer and architect goes through. Can you walk us little bit on that path? Your upbringing. How was your family life like? Because I think that point in time you didn't had this industry as a profession.
Yeah. I actually I my father is really, my parents are a big building block in my whole professional outlook. So one of the things that whenever we were younger, if there was a certain work that had to be done in the house, anything, whether it was fixing a tile or getting a cupboard or anything, my dad always put this in our head from childhood, that hire a professional for it. Hire a professional for it. Don't put your brains and energies into every small thing. Just because you're bright doesn't mean that you waste your time and energy into everything. Identify the work, give it to somebody whose job it is, and don't put yourself into every job. Then you can't do your own job properly.
So when it comes to emotions in a house, how do you cater to that entire family? Is my question.
For me, over the years, I realized that whenever I start doing a house for somebody, whenever I step into that house, start doing it, the first thing I leave out is my own ego. It's their home. I got to respect that first. So when you have that respect within yourself, that it is someone's hard-earned money, and in India, the whole idea is that it's not like the West where you're changing homes. You make a home forever and you're putting in your life savings into it. As a designer, they're looking up to you and they have this whole dream house in their head, and then they choose you and they say, we want you to do it. If you don't have the time and you say, I don't have the time, they will wait for you. Hence, I think that the journey for me, and that, as I said, I'm emotional and I fall in love easily. So, so for me, I mean, I always feel that the clients that I've met have always taught me so many things over that 1 year, 1.5 year, 2 years that we spend with people. The journey has always been good because I always believe that if I am bringing something to the table, they also are bringing something to the table.
We've already seen your Instagram, and wow, I really admire the white house that you've done. I call it the white house because you've got so many shades of white in it. It's literally the white house. All the viewers will have the first question: how was it working with Vicky Jain and Ankita Lokhane? That's the first question.
I think working with them was just wonderful. They're wonderful people. Ankita is a pure, simple soul. She speaks from her heart. She has no layers to her. She's and she doesn't talk to you in a manner wherein she is forcing you for something. She very, very, very nicely from her heart said that, Sejal, do you think you can give me a white house? And I said, well, I've never done a white house before, which is completely white, because I'm a person who's all about color. And yeah, why not? I mean, if you're asking me for it and it's your home, yes, let's give it to you. So, so that's how the journey
But the house
started.
has been turned out very nice, beautiful.
Yeah.
Love the house.
And then we had so many, I mean, nowadays what happens is when you go into a building which has so many floors,
Right.
and the builders made a sample flat,
Correct.
then I just feel every flat looks like the sample flat.
Right.
Correct.
And then when someone is asking you for something different, I didn't want to just give the white for the heck of giving white. I needed that white
White,
also
yes.
to be like really different. So I think the chandeliers that we picked,
Yeah. It's a very
Yeah,
different.
I saw that. That's beautiful.
we said we don't want a center chandelier.
Okay.
Right.
I said, no, let's do the side ones.
Okay.
And yeah, it turned out good.
Nice. That's
Thank God for
beautiful,
that.
It's
Beautiful.
been very good.
I can only say thank God.
When you mentioned that you were in your interior designing days when you were studying, do you know everyone who's practicing, or how is the take now? Because I think that batch.
So back then, we're talking of, I graduated college in 1995 is when I graduated through college and started working. We had a batch of 40 women that time, and I know that about 4 of us are yet working. Yeah, the
Almost
rest.
10% of the entire
10%.
batch.
Yes, just 10% of the entire batch. So as I say that mental strength doesn't have to be, I mean, everything just needs to be sorted in your head first before you try to do anything.
Nice. I think that's a very different
That's
take. I
good.
think I'll have to sink it.
You have to
whole
absorb.
unit. Yeah. Because we see a lot of things, that because I have a mom as well, and then I have a wife as well, and it's very difficult to juggle on things, and mental strength is, I think, I'll go back home today and speak about it now.
Because you require too much of pull power to get
Yeah,
executing everything of this.
If you speak to your wife about it, it's not going to go the right way.
I'll call you. If your design studio had a theme song, what would the song be?
Chalo chale mitwa.
Okay. Any specific reason for that song?
Because it is every day, it's just that, na chalo chale mitwa. Chalo the contractors, my kadiya, my carpenter. Chalo.
If your designs were a travel destination, what travel destination would your designs be?
Goa.
Yeah. Peace.
Freedom.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sunshine and water. I
And in
think.
the evening it transforms.
Yes, totally.
What do you feel, ma'am, about the whole store, and how do you think it's shaped up? And
I think it's really good, and this whole idea of doing the podcast, it's my first podcast, so
Nice.
I'm excited about it. And yeah, I think I like the fact that when I'm seeing the big tiles in your showroom, I am not wondering how they're going to look, because the entire slab is pretty much giving me the vision. What is it going to look as a final surface? So I think for me, it's very important that it is presented as is. How I'm going to use it is on me. But how you are presenting it in a showroom is just in its, in its simple form, just with the correct amount of lighting on it. Because I think that's very important.
What do you feel about the team now?
Well, I'm meeting you all, and the team looks great.
Yeah.
I have to yet experience it a little more.
Yeah.
But
Something about Kite that you want to talk about, a little more about Kite. How was the experience all about? We just started and we just finished the podcast with you, just to understand.
So I like the idea that a lot of design fraternity, the younger generations which are coming into design, can listen to this, because again, working as an interior designer is like riding a cycle on a road which has not been traveled. So every day morning is a new journey. You've never been on this road before, because it's the first time you're doing this kind of a project, new clients. Sometimes you get familiar territory, but otherwise it's mostly a new road every day. Yeah. So then, travel along, enjoy it, enjoy the sun, enjoy the sand, and
Enjoy
just
the
keep
beach.
cycling.